Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start unit number 4, that is partial fractions. It is on your page number 74. Students, before discussing the definition of partial fractions, I want to discuss few definitions with you. First of all, the first definition is rational fraction. Students, as you are familiar from a rational number that you have discussed in your previous classes, that a number which can be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q must not be equal to 0. Same is the case here with the rational fraction. Which type of fraction is said to be a rational fraction? In which n of x and d of x are two polynomials, means the expression that can be written in the form of n of x divided by d of x. Now students, the question will comes in your mind that what is n of x, what is d of x? This n of x and d of x, these are polynomials, means if you are having a fraction in which your numerator is a polynomial, your denominator is also a polynomial, then this type of fraction is said to be a rational fraction. Inside the bracket, this x represents that you have taken a polynomial in the variable x. You can say that a fraction which can be written in the form of two polynomials, and the second condition is that denominator or d of x must not be equal to 0. Students, you have discussed briefly in the previous class why denominator must not be equal to 0, because when the denominator is equal to 0, that is undefined. Any number divided by 0 that is having no answer, that is undefined, that is beyond the limit. So we must be having here one condition: a rational fraction, a fraction of the form n of x divided by d of x, where nx and dx are two polynomials and d of x must not be equal to 0. Denominator must not be equal to 0. You can take any of the example. Look at this expression, 2x divided by x plus 2. Here you can see that numerator 2x is a polynomial. All of you are familiar with the definition of polynomial. And the denominator is also a polynomial. So when you will divide two polynomials, the resultant fraction is said to be a rational fraction. Okay students, now we will discuss if you are having a fraction. Now further, we divide the rational fraction into two types. Rational fraction is of either it is of proper fraction, or either it is improper fraction. There are two types of rational fractions, which first one is proper fraction and the second one is improper fraction. Now we'll discuss what is proper fraction. Students, whenever you are having a rational fraction and you want to check that which type of fractions are said to be proper fraction, you have to check the degree of numerator and you have to check the degree of denominator. When you will check the degrees, then you have to compare the degree of numerator and degree of denominator. Means, for example, let's take an example. In this example, first of all, we will find the degree of numerator. If you want to check that it is proper fraction or it is improper fraction, we will find the degree of numerator. Degree of numerator is, okay students, now we will find, first of all, we will find the degree of numerator. What is the degree? How we can find the degree? The highest power of the variable involved is said to be the degree of any term. So here in the numerator, the highest power of the variable involved is 2. In the denominator, the variable involved here in this expression is x, and the degree highest power of the denominator is 3. So you can see that in degree of numerator is 2 and the degree of denominator is 3. So students, when this will happen, that degree of numerator is less than when the degree of numerator is less than the degree of denominator, then this type of fractions are said to be proper fractions. Which type of fraction is said to be proper fraction? When the degree of numerator is less than the degree of denominator. Okay students, so what I have told, if you want to check any rational fraction that it is a proper fraction or it is improper fraction, you have to check the degree of numerator and you have to check the degree of denominator. If the degree of numerator is less than the degree of denominator, then this resultant fraction or then this fraction is said to be proper rational fraction or proper fraction. Let's take another example. Find the degree of numerator. Highest power of the variable involved in the numerator is, when there is no power, the power is 1. So the degree here in the numerator, so the degree here in the numerator is 1. In the denominator, the highest power of the variable involved is 2. In the denominator, the degree is 2. So I have told, when the degree of numerator is less than the degree of denominator, the resultant fraction is said to be, or this fraction is said to be proper fraction. Okay students, but if the degree of numerator is greater than the degree of denominator, and if the degree of numerator is equal to the degree of denominator, then what will be happen? Then this fraction is said to be improper fraction. When the degree of numerator is greater than the degree of denominator, then this resultant fraction or then the given fraction is said to be improper fraction. Or if the degree of numerator is equal to the degree of denominator, then the fraction is said to be improper fraction. Let's take example. Degree of numerator here is 1, because the highest power of the variable involved is 1. In the denominator, if you will find the degree is also 1. So I have told that when the degree of numerator is equal to the degree of denominator, then the resultant fraction is said to be improper fraction. Let's take another example. Find the degree of numerator. The degree of numerator is 4 and the degree of denominator is 3. So the degree of numerator is greater than the degree of denominator. When this will be happen, then the degree of numerator is greater than from the denominator, or if the degree of numerator is equal to the degree of denominator, this type of fractions are said to be, improper fraction. Okay students, now we will discuss the partial fractions. Partial fraction. Before discussing the partial fraction, let's discuss the LCM. A method of LCM means that you are having two fractions, 1 over x minus 1 minus 4 over x, and I asked from you that simplify these two fractions, write in these two fractions in this simplest form. So at once this comes in your mind that you have to take the LCM, and after taking the LCM, all of you are familiar by the method of the LCM. X and x minus 1 will be the LCM, and the simplest form, the answer is a single term that is said to be a resultant fraction. Means that when you are having two fractions and you will take the LCM, you have more than two fractions and you have taken the LCM, you have got a single answer. You have find out the simplest form. That simplest form is said to be the resultant fraction, and these two fractions are said to be partial fractions. So students, you can say that the partial fractions are the decomposition of this resultant fraction. Partial fractions are decomposition of the resultant fraction. You can say that resolving into a partial fraction is a reverse process of taking LCM. For example, in simplest words, I explain you. Suppose that you are having this resultant fraction. I have given you this resultant fraction and I have asked from you that split this resultant fraction into two or more than two small fractions, rational fractions. So this process, this method to resolve, method to divide, to splitting up Okay students, as I have told, partial fraction is splitting up of a rational fraction into two or more than two fractions. Splitting up means decomposition of resultant fraction. So students, this question will come in your mind, either all type of fractions can we convert into a partial fraction, or there are some special type of fractions are there to which we can convert into a partial fraction. So students, there are 4 points that you have to keep in your mind, that if the denominator of the fraction of any of these 4 types, then you can convert the given rational fraction into a partial fraction. What you have to see, either this fraction can be resolved into a partial fraction or not. First step is that you have to look at their denominator. D of x means denominator. The first category is that non-repeated linear factors. For example, you are having the fraction of this type 2x divided by x plus 1, x plus 2. Okay students, now you can see that in the denominator, non-repeated means no root, no factor will be repeat here. X plus 1 will come one time, x plus 2 must come one time. You can see all the factors are occurring one time. All the factors here that are present non-repeated. Linear factors, now you have to look at in first bracket. You can see the highest power of the variable involved, x is having power 1, so this first factor is a linear factor. In second factor, you can see that the power involved here also 1, so it is also a linear factor. So when you are having this type of fraction in which in the denominator non-repeated linear factors are there, no linear factor is repeating here, no linear factor is having any power, so this means that this type of fraction you can convert into partial fraction. Or there are some steps are there, then when I will solve the question, I will explain the next steps. Second type is that repeated linear factors. If you are having the expression 4x plus 1 divided by x plus 1 whole square, x minus 1. Okay students, now you for example if you are having the fraction of this type, that in the denominator, if you will look at in the denominator, x plus 1 whole square means that x plus 1 comes 2 times, x plus 1 whole square means that x, we can write it x plus 1, it comes 2 times. So they have said that if in the denominator repeated linear factors are there, one linear factor is repeating inside the bracket, you can see this is a linear factor because x is having the power 1. This is also a linear factor, but both the linear factors or any one, at least any one of the linear factor must be repeating. When one linear factor is repeating or all the linear factors are in repeating form, so repeated linear factors, when the repeated linear factors are there in the denominator, then this type of fraction you can also convert into partial fractions. Students, there is no need to look at the numerator. Whatever is the type of the numerator, just we have to look at the denominator. Now okay students, the third one is non-repeated irreducible quadratic factors. What does it mean? Suppose that you are having 2x plus 9 divided by x square plus 1 and x minus 1. Suppose that you are having this type of fraction, and in the denominator they have said you must be having one thing is that non-repeated, no factor will be repeated form, no whole square must be there, whole cube must be there, no factor is repeating here. But which type of factor must be present? Irreducible quadratic factor. Quadratic means that when the x is having, your variable is having highest power 2, you can see in first factor, this first factor is a quadratic factor. X square, the factors of this type, the ax square plus bx plus c, this type of factors are said to be quadratic factors in which x is having highest power 2. So this first bracket, you can see this is a quadratic factor because x is having highest power 2. So they have said, or it is irreducible. Irreducible means that you cannot simplify it, you cannot apply any of the formula. First of all, when you are having any quadratic expression in the denominator, you have to check that either we can simplify it or not. If it is reducible quadratic factor, so first of all you have to reduce, maybe it will make into, it will be, or it convert into a linear factor. So first of all you have to see it must be non-repeating and irreducible quadratic factors are there. So it is irreducible, no formula can be applied, no midterm breaking is possible. It is non-repeating and irreducible quadratic factor, or any of the factor can be linear. They have discussed about that at least one factor of this type must be there. All remaining other factors are of maybe linear, maybe of this same type. So this type of fraction you can convert into a partial fraction. The third type, students, the fourth type, the D type, is repeated irreducible quadratic factors. Suppose you are having the fraction of this type, x square plus 1 whole square x minus 1. Just only difference is that now here the factor can be repeat. Which type of factor must be there? Irreducible quadratic factor. You can see inside the bracket, x square plus 1 is irreducible. Further it cannot be solved, it cannot, there cannot be applied any formula. X square plus 1 is irreducible and quadratic factor as well, because x is having highest power 2. It is irreducible quadratic factor. And also you can see there is a whole power 2. Whole square means that x square plus 1 whole square means that you can write it x square plus 1 x square plus 1 2 times, means this is repeated. X square plus 1 x square plus 1 occur 2 times, so x square plus 1 is repeating here. So when you are having this type of fraction in which denominator is repeated irreducible quadratic factor, having repeated irreducible quadratic factors, then you can resolve this type of fraction into partial fractions. Okay students, your diary is that you have to learn the definitions of that is present on page number 75. Definition of fraction, definition of rational fraction, proper fraction, improper fraction. On next page, page number 76, resultant fraction, partial fraction. Or these definitions you can learn from page number 84 in the summary. It is written in the summary as well. It is